when women speak, they don't speak for themselves, they speak for their nation. I came to realize that every woman has potentials. So why do we relegate the woman's voice to the background when I know that she can actually be a major contributor to an economic enforcement or economic elevation for any nation? It will amaze you to know that some young ladies in communities do not know what sanitary pad is. Yeah, my name is Nissi Ikenna-Amadi. I'm a human resources professional. I'm a development strategist. I'm an author. I'm a mentor. I'm the founder of the African Women Mentoring and Inspiring Initiative and the convener of Girls Clinic, a platform that creates a pathway to self-discovery for the African woman. I like to see myself beyond the title as a bridge, one that helps to give clarity, execution to visions. I'm an amplifier. I help to raise the voices of women so the world can hear them better. That's who I am. What inspired my journey? I'm a village girl. So growing up in the village, you actually understand, like in the cities, as though women even have a little voice, but in the village, you're being hushed. You don't say a word. But then I came to realize that every woman has potentials. As a matter of fact, children are educated and they thrive from the knowledge given to them by even illiterate mothers. That's why I said to myself, so why do we relegate a woman's voice to the background when I know that she can actually be a major contributor to an economic enforcement or economic elevation for any nation? So I said, okay, why don't you do it this way? Let's find a way to create a pathway. Let women, first of all, get to understand they have ability, they have capacity, because it's one thing to say, okay, they have, and they don't realize they have. So what my NGO does is to create a pathway to self-discovery. So the woman needs to understand that she has capacity. And the truth is, when women speak, they don't speak for themselves, they speak for their nation, they speak for their community. So what inspired my journey is to see how women can begin to speak for their community, speak for their nation, and a nation can get to the next level. Because I feel that Africa as a whole is relegated, is snailing, because Africa is not carrying her female gender along. Okay, so AWMI was founded in 2019, like I said, with a mandate to create a pathway to self-discovery for the African woman. So AWMI looks at the African woman and looks at very important cardinals around the African woman. One, with regards to our educational level. Two, with regards to our health level. Three, with regards to our integration into society, how she thinks about herself and how she's able to talk in the presence of others. So with regards to education, we carry out free trainings in school, tertiary institutions, secondary schools. And then for health, we carry out free medicals for women, and the focus is on cervical cancer, breast cancer, because I know these are major things that bedevils the woman's life and shortens her lifespan. So we carry out free medicals for the woman, and then we also carry out mentorship, especially for those of them in business. We help them with business documentation, we help them with understanding their books, how to register, how to make profit, understand how profit works. So generally, we mentor and we inspire women. Currently, I have over 200 women on a platform I call Girls Clinic, where we carry out periodic trainings for them for free. And then we move from community to community, where we carry out free medicals for women. And then we move from schools to schools, where we give them free sanitary pads. And then we talk about sanitary hygiene. It will amaze you to know that even in this time and age, some young ladies in communities, when I mean in communities, do not know what sanitary pad is. So when you bring it to them, they're asking you, what is this used for? So you have to practically go into training them how to align the sanitary pads on their panties, how to dispose of the sanitary pads, and what the sanitary pad in its essence is all about. And then they get to learn from there. But the truth is, it's not sustainable. I just wish that the government can come in and reduce the cost for sanitary pads and find a way to ensure the sanitary pads get into the nooks and crannies of our communities and our villages, so every woman can have the luxury of using a pad, even if it is tissue, when she's seeing her period. All right, yeah, I wouldn't want to call names of communities, so it doesn't look like I'm tagging a community, but it was a community we went to, and for the first time in my life, I got a shocker. I didn't know that girls can be seeing their menses and not go to school because of that. So a young girl came to me and she said, when I'm seeing my menses, we just get a bucket and we sit on it. We just sit on it because they don't have anything. Or at most they get rags and cut the rags into particles to use. And then one of them said, sometimes when we're privileged and we have paper, we sprinkle water on it to soften it so the water, the paper can absorb liquid. And then that's what we use throughout the period. So for me, it gave me concern. It gave me concern in the sense that I said to myself, if this is not properly handled, in the next years to come, we're going to be having high rates of infertility, not because these women are not fertile, but because of the dangerous process and practices they have undergone during their menstrual cycle growing up because of inability to have access to good menstrual, what should I call it, equipment or tools. All right, how do I look out for opportunity to help others? Like I said, my NGO is focused on rural women. It focuses on rural women. Like when I was talking, I said I'm a village woman, so I know what it means to be in the village. So my focus is on helping village women. So I just look out for villages and I just go to villages. And as a matter of fact, when I was 7, we used to just go to villages, look for children, give them baths, wash their hair, plait their hair. I didn't know I was being called into this, ministry. It was something I was doing and I was enjoying myself. So villages is where you find marginalized women. You find women who don't really understand what society is even talking about. For them, it's all about survival. So they go to the trade, go to fishing, they come with their where they sell in the community market, they get food for their family, and that's how far it goes. But beyond that, there's more to life. Beyond that, there's more to life. So as a matter of fact, I want to see how these community women can begin to live beyond the community and think of a better global space for themselves. I've had professional challenges, I've had institutional limitations, and I've also had personal moments. Those personal moments, I've cried. I've asked myself, I said, can this cup just run away from me? At some point I got to a point where I just told myself, who sent me? And I just thought, why can't I just have my life back? And the truth is, I can't have my life back anymore. This is me now. So have I had challenges? Yes, I've had challenges, especially the moments, the personal moments. But you know what those personal moments have done for me? They've been able to translate my pain, and they brought about clarity of purpose for me. So it's as though, yes, these are the challenges, but somehow I've been able to mitigate challenges. And I saw one of the challenges I want to tell you I faced was I had a community outreach, and then I had a company that was willing to sponsor, and all of a sudden the company was snailing and the project was in front of us. I didn't know what to do. I was confused, so I just went to social media and I cried out to friends, and then I had people call me, support here, support there, and that was the moment I knew I wasn't doing this by myself. There was a force of God behind it. People I didn't know called and supported, and that project still remains one of the huge projects we've ever had. You can imagine carrying out cervical cancer, breast cancer screening for women in the community, and they don't know what it is. For them, it was the first time. Did we record positive cases? Yes, we did. But the good thing is that we don't work alone. We partner with the likes of Medical Women Association of Nigeria. We partner with the Rape Chief. We partner with Female Pharmaceutical Association of Nigeria. So we partner with medical personnel. So when we have cases, we don't leave these women hanging. There's room for continuity. There's room where their health is being monitored, their health is being followed up, So they're in the villages. Yes, there's room for them. As a matter of fact, another thing we do when we go to these villages is to bring the city to the village. I also partner with Union Bank. I know on several locations, Union Bank has had to follow me communities to help these women with BVN. And women are so excited. They say they've heard about BVN, but how would they go to the city for BVN? They don't even have transport money. But here is the bank coming to them. So the bank comes to them with small loans. The bank comes to them to see how they can up their skill. And for me, it is beautiful because I think that humanity is about helping one another, but somehow it's as though humanity is eroding, is going off. But my angel is here to bring back humanity. My angel is here to say to people, there is hope, especially to women in communities, in rural environments. There is hope. There's a community that you go to, they don't have drinking water, they don't have school, they have nothing. Yes, in Nigeria, quote me, in Nigeria. How has giving impacted my life? Just recently, I was invited to the home of the British High Commissioner in Nigeria. I just came back from Abuja. I was given an award for being involved in gender responsive affirmative procurement, an award for being a part of helping other women find their grounds. So for me, giving has impacted me. Yeah, so I give value and I get value. As a matter of fact, the social media environment is not a sleeping environment. It's an environment that watches, looks out for those who are giving. So whatever you are doing in your space, don't get tired, don't get wearied. As a matter of fact, it was on social media through my activities of giving that I got GIZ to notice me. And today I mentor for World Bank on World Bank projects for GIZ. In fact, I was given the privilege of speaking at the National MSME Conference in Lagos last year, an all-expense paid trip by GIZ. Still on this activity as a way of benefit, I was able to meet Do Take Action online. And today, through Do Take Action, I'm able to go to the British High Commissioner's residence. So you can imagine, giving comes with blessings. So don't ever think that you are giving. Don't grumble when you give. When you give, it's a privilege. When you give, it's an opportunity to position yourself to be blessed. So most times we don't give because we have abundance. Most times we give from the little we have, and most times and always we give from our heart. So with African Women Mentoring and Inspiring Initiative, we just give. As I'm talking to you, we don't have funds, but we have a project, to carry out. And I know that the funds for that project will come, because somehow God has positioned people, individuals, organizations who just call and say, where are you going to next year? Where are you going to next month? And the truth is, not everyone can go. So if you can't go, your money should be able to go for you. But whichever way you are going, whichever way you are impacting, whichever way you are helping people to find focus, to find joy, to find fulfillment, to find a voice above all for themselves.